Hi beauties, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a review. I'm going to be reviewing the new Makeup Revolution Reloaded eyeshadow palettes. So these were released like mid-December, so this is a little bit of a late review. I was quite busy around that time, so I didn't have time to film, but I am filming it now in case anyone is interested. So before I start, I just want to give a quick shout out to those of you stopping by my channel for the first time. I just want to say hi, welcome, thanks so much for clicking on my video. I hope you like what you see and you enjoy my content, and if you do, don't forget to like and comment, and most importantly hit the subscribe button down below. So Makeup Revolution actually released 4 of these Reloaded palettes, but I was only able to acquire 3 due to the fact that the 4th one, the Reloaded Neutrals 2 I believe palette, was sold out online in Superdrug, in store in Superdrug, and on Tan Beauty, which is the official Makeup Revolution website. So unfortunately I won't be reviewing those, but I do have these 3 lovely palettes and they are all lovely. So I'm gonna just show you each palette individually, then I'll go into swatches and give my overall review, and I'm gonna talk a little bit about this eyeshadow look, which I did using a colour or 2 from each of these palettes. The first palette I'm going to briefly talk about, and definitely my favourite out of the 3 that I have, is the Makeup Revolution Reloaded Iconic Division, and it is absolutely stunning. As you can see, it's such a lovely mix of colours, and it is actually a dupe of the ABH Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. This is what the palette looks like inside. Absolutely stunning mix of colours. As you can see, it's got a little bit of wear and tear. I have been using this palette a lot. I bought it before the last 2, so I only used the last 2 like today, but I'd been using this because I bought it before I went on holiday. I went home with it from uni, and absolutely love it. And I just want to show you guys a quick comparison of this palette to the ABH palette. Someone on Instagram took out the individual pans of the Subculture palette and placed it next to the Makeup Revolution palette, and it's honestly an absolute match. So really good props to Makeup Revolution for doing this. So yeah, I hope you guys can see it. Yeah, so as you can see, really lovely dupe, and I mean, when you think about it, the quality is lovely and it's so much cheaper than Subculture. So if you did want Subculture and you couldn't afford it, then, or you could afford it but you just wanted something cheaper, then this would be right up your street. Just to show you guys like how the pigment is in this palette, I'm going to swatch 5 of my favourite colours to show you guys. The colours I decided to swatch from this palette are all conveniently next to each other. So I swatched the green, the orange, yellow, the red, and the iridescent purple. So of course the first colour I switched, which is definitely my favourite colour in the palette, if not the purple, is this really gorgeous kind of emerald green. I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't swatch very well, but as you can see on my lids, it does perform lovely. I did have to put a little bit of setting spray just so it could come out, but more so because I kept getting a little bit of shadow from my crease on my lid. The next colour is this really gorgeous orange. It's not like a it's quite a muted orange if I'm honest with you, but it's really nice. Next colour is this really gorgeous mustard yellow, so not your conventional yellow like my nails, but a really gorgeous mustard yellow. The next colour, again, not your conventional red, it's a really gorgeous brick red. And the last colour, that really iridescent purple. Honestly, my camera and my swatch is not doing it justice, but in person it is absolutely stunning. This is the second palette I got, and as you can see, it is very a lot of warm shades and a lot of neutral shades at the top. And very fittingly, the name of this palette is a Reloaded Iconic Fever, which really suits the warm theme that they've got going on in this palette. So this is what it looks like close up. And as you can see, the first colour that really strikes me is this really gorgeous bright orange. This is what I used a little bit in my transition area. So it's a really stunning bright kind of, I don't know, Fanta orange kind of shade. Got a really lovely red here, some kind of purpley shades, more reds, quite a few not really shimmers but more satin colours here, and of course that neutral ray I talked about at the top. So I'm just going to go ahead and swatch my 5 favourite colours for you guys. So these are my 5 favourite colours. So of course I did have to start with that really gorgeous orange, which is in the bottom corner of the palette. Absolutely stunning. When I swatched it, it just came on like butter. Really gorgeous colour. The next is also another kind of brick red, but more reddish than the last red I showed you guys. And then this really gorgeous purple colour. It's a little bit like the brown in the Iconic Division palette, but it's really purpley. And then this really nice kind of light brown, and this blinding gold eyeshadow, which is actually what I use to highlight my brow bones. As you can see, the colour is really nice. So just to show you these colours from the palette, so we've got the orange one first, really gorgeous brickish red, that really nice deep brownish purple, that nice, ooh, was it this one? Yes, that nice light brown, and this really gorgeous shimmery gold. I don't know if you can see that gold that well, but it's really, really nice, really, really blinding. So yeah, but that is it for the iconic Fever palette. So the last palette, probably my least favourite of the three, not gonna lie, is this one. It's the Reloaded Iconic Vitality palette, or Vitality, I don't know how you pronounce that, shippable, but the Reloaded Iconic, that word, palette. So this is what it looks like. I mean, I like it, but I feel like it's a little bit random, and I feel like some of the colours are kind of close, like this shade and this shade. Of course this is a matte and this is more of a satiny shade, but they're pretty close. And then, oh my god, just jacked the palette, look, girl. Oh my. And these two colours are a little bit close, but yeah, it's just not my favourite palette, guys. Nothing wrong with it though, but I personally just prefer the other two and the Nutri's 2 palette, which I unfortunately couldn't show you guys. So this palette is called Reloaded Iconic Vitality. As I said, I just wanted to show you guys the back. Let me show you guys the inside again. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch my 5 favourite colours of this palette. Sorry, I'm moving so mumbly, guys. It's late at night, and I just wanted to film this video and get it out of the way. So excuse my incoherence. These are my 5 favourite colours from the palette. Now, despite me saying I don't like the palette that much, this colour is popping. Wow. Okay, I used it as my kind of crease shade transition shade, but just upon swatching it, bitch, is popping. Is really popping, you know. The next shade is again another kind of brickish red. A lot of the colours are repeated in these palettes. I mean, I guess it makes sense to have a kind of similar shade in each palette in case you're not like the kind of person who would purchase each palette. When you do purchase each palette, it's kind of like you've got colours that you don't need. Like there's a black in both palettes, but I mean there's a black in like every eyeshadow palette in there. But again, this constant kind of brickish red shade, because the shade I swatched here, which the shade I swatched is actually this one, which is actually kind of orange. But again, you've got another brickish red shade in each palette, and they are very similar. But I mean, if it's an issue where you've only purchased one palette as opposed to 3 or the 4, then it makes sense. But for me, it's just a little bit the next shade I swatched is this gold, and I totally lied, guys. The gold I swatched on the last palette is not the one that I used in my brown eye area. It was actually this one, I just forgot. But yeah, so that's the gold I used, which is actually really, really lovely. The next colour is this really gorgeous kind of muted lavender shade. I really, really like that. And then the last colour is just kind of shimmery purpley shade. So I'm just going to show you what the colours are from the palette. So the first colour, of course, that really, that pink that's just popping, that really lovely pink. This shade, which I call the brick red, but it's actually quite orangey. And then was this the gold? No, this was the gold. This is the gold I swatched on my middle finger, and the gold I used as my brow bone highlight boost, should pop in. And then I swatched this colour. This is just a really nice muted lavender, like I said. And then I just swatched this one, which is just kind of shimmery satin purple. So yeah, that is the Reloaded Iconic Vitality, or Vitality, however you want to pronounce the palette. Gently, but as you can see, the pans of the eyeshadows are very, very big, so you don't have to worry about running out of products. And even if you do, it's only £4. It's not hard to re-up, but they are really, really lovely eyeshadows. In particular, my fave, the Reloaded Iconic Division, which, like I said in the beginning, is a dupe of the ABH Subculture palette. So if you wanted to get the Subculture palette, but maybe you just didn't have the money at the time, or you felt like it was a little bit too much to spend on a palette, then this is an absolutely wonderful, easily accessible dupe, and beyond affordable. So this is the end of the video, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy this review. I've also got a review of the new Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define concealers, so do make sure you check that out if you're interested. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and comment, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button down below. Bye.